Well, hello, my Taurus friends, and welcome to your full moon in Capricorn reading. So the full moon is June 24th into the 25th, depending, I guess, where you are in the world. And this full moon in Capricorn, I mean, we've had so many intense moon energies, and there's retrograde, and Mercury ended yesterday, so that's beautiful. But I mean, Capricorn is about structures. It's about our belief structures. It can be things in which we find that we are attached to, addictions, whether that's substances, people, situations, whatever the case may be, right? So it is going to be a highly energy packed kind of full moon. Don't think it's not. So I just thought that let's just do some nice quick full moon readings just to kind of, give us a little inside scoop on some of the energy. So we're going to start with the spirit animal. And this is the overall energy for this full moon for Taurus. Sun, moon, rising. Maybe you just got a lot of Taurus in your chart. Keep in mind it is a general reading, right? So not everything's going to fit. Take what fits, leave what doesn't. As much as it is a full moon reading, it is a timeless reading. So if you find this at another point and you find resonation within the message, I'm sure it was meant to find you when it found you. Trust that. All right. It's for Taurus, sun, moon, rising, full moon in Capricorn. Beautiful. Look at that. Panther. I love this energy. And it's the master number 444 as well. And it is all about reclaiming your power. And we are going to start this message off by actually reading that message. Boog, you are not going to sit here and whine at us. That is not going to happen. It takes courage to face challenges, and right now, Panther Spirit is here to say that you are braver than you think. Now is a time to take a risk, step into a different aspect of your being, speak as you have never spoken before, act as you have never dreamed, act as you have always dreamed. You might have the courage to act. Love fearlessly and fully, and expect to feel the adrenaline rush as you are initiated into a new, braver, bolder self. Panther Spirit says the time for dreaming about what you want to do is giving way to that first courageous act towards reclaiming your Panther Spirit and power. Your new identity may feel strange at first, but you have what it takes, and your soul wants this. Be bold. Well, Taurus, that's one hell of a way to start a reading. Okay, so we're going to use the Good Tarot. We're going to start with some we're going to start with some energies, and we're going to look at the challenges, and we're going to look at the reasons as to why this is so important, why this reclaiming of your power is so important. Past energy for the Taurus. Nine of Wands. Current energy, we have the Ace of Earth. Immediate future. Thank you, Spirit. Messenger of Water, the Knight of Cups. Well, that's interesting. Why is this challenging the Taurus? We have the Nine of Water. We have the Messenger of Fire. We have the Star. Reasons to reclaim their power here. What's the reasons Taurus is reclaiming their power? Seven of Air, King of Cups. Well, that's weird. Queen of Air and the Emperor. That King of Cups and the Queen of Air came out in that Aries reading together too. Okay. Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And actually the Queen of Earth behind that, which is your divine feminine energy here. All right, Taurus, let's get into this. The Seven of Fire here, this is the Seven of Wands. This is about really stepping into your light, stepping into your authenticity. Let your little light shine. Kind of see how those go together, right? stepping into your power. Now, when we talk about power, there's a hierarchy of power, and oftentimes this hierarchy of power within ourselves can get really really skewed, okay? The hierarchy of power has to go self, creator, others. Sometimes we go creators, others, self. Sometimes we go others, creator, self. Sometimes we go self, 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 or others, 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 right? Like there's all different hierarchies of power in which we play or put into our lives, and we certainly all have different hierarchies within our own lives, okay? But the hierarchy of power in which is going to allow us to reclaim our power must go self, creator, others. Because we have to start with claiming our own power. We first must start with the idea, the belief, okay? The truth that we are our own divine being. We are here with free will. We are here with, divine journeys and divine purposes, but the Lord never set out a map before us. The Creator never set out, nothing is written in stone, you see? And so in order to really reclaim our power, one must really acknowledge that you must do what fulfills you first. You know, through the choice of self, that's a choice. Through that choice, you can choose to serve divine will. You can choose to serve the Creator. You can choose to serve others. But you must acknowledge that choice has to come from self. Okay? Otherwise, you say, oh, well, I have to do this because this is, oftentimes religion can be that, well, you have to put the Creator first. And then in which case you're doing all of the actions out of just, all of the things in which you do, serving maybe such and such a religion or all of those things, you're just doing it out of, well, the have to, not the want. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's look at energies here. In the recent past energy, we have the Nine of Fire, Nine of Wands. This is like that wounded warrior kind of energy in which you've come from a lot of tough shit, right? You can see all those clouds in the back and you can see that there has been a storm. She's in this cave, but in this, even though the storm clouds may be still kind of surrounding her, they're not quite past her yet, she acknowledges that she's made it through the storm. And here she's beginning to manifest. She's beginning to create those new dreams and really to begin to create this new excitement for her life. The nine of wands can oftentimes be that energy of like coming so far through a whole lot of shit and being exhausted by the time you get to the end of it. Acknowledging that yes, you are in this place of really beginning these new manifestations. You're really, you've made it through the darkness and you're coming into this light, but that there is some sort of exhaustion that comes with that. In current energy, we have the Ace of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles. And aces are gifts. Okay, aces are gifts from the divine. That is something that the Creator, the divine, has gifted you. It's a new blessing. It's a new opportunity. Pentacles in the earth are oftentimes those new tangible kind of cycles that begin within our lives. It can be, prosperity, new work relationships, new beginnings, like just something that is actually tangibly starting within your world around you. And the Messenger of Cups, that's the Knight of Cups. And that's oftentimes a very romantic kind of energy coming in. That's something that's really moving towards you, that is offering you some sort of emotional happiness, emotional support, a new emotional beginnings. Let's clarify this Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, wow, gets the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is your divine masculine energy. And the High Priestess is all about connecting to intuition. And this Nine of Wands energy, and especially in the recent past, I do feel like you've made it through the darkness and you've overcome all of these challenges in the recent past, because this is where you listen to your intuition and you actually stepped into that masculine energy of self. The King of Pentacles is somebody who makes a lot of, who creates a great fortune for himself. He creates a lot of prosperity within his life around him, but he does so because he acknowledges the ways in which, the actions in which he takes within his life. Okay. He knows where he wants to end up. And he knows that if I want to end up over here with such and such abundance or such and such, whatever this situation may be over here, he knows he has to take the steps to that. You see, when the High Priestess comes within this, he listened to his intuition. And that's not gender specific, okay? I'm just saying he, because, you can be a she too. You still need to listen to that divine masculine energy within inside of self, right? But this is where your intuition greatly connected the action steps. Like you took the action steps that your intuition were telling you because you knew you wanted to get to this next phase. You knew there had to be change. And I'm not saying that it wasn't easy. The Nine of Wands, that's challenging energy. That's coming through the Boer War, okay? Crossing Jurassic Park. The Nine of Wands is not an easy phase to go through. There's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of growth that has to happen to get you to the Nine of Wands phase. But you acknowledged and your intuition guided you to here. And it's still guiding you because I do feel that the 9 isn't done. You're not done yet. Just because you're at the 9 doesn't mean you're done. Now you're in this current new beginning. Now you've made it to this new opportunity in which you're about, yeah, look at that, the 7 of Wands again and the 6 of Pentacles. Now you're at this current energy, there's new beginnings happening all around you. And they can be in more aspects than one. Maybe it's new relationships. Maybe it's new work opportunities. Maybe it's just a new way of living here for self, right? But with the 7 of Wands and the 6 of Pentacles, you see, you have really connected once again to this authenticity, right? This power within inside of self. And that is what is greatly beginning here. It is this recognition of this power within inside of self. I love how our solar plexus is on fire here. Right? Because our solar plexus is that's our light of self. That's our authenticity. That is who we were divinely, authentically, uniquely made to be here. You see, and when the 6 of Pentacles comes out here, it's about really I really feel it's the vibration in which you are putting out. Are you putting out a vibration in which you are the powerhouse of your life? You are the one who is taking control. You have reclaimed your power? Or are you sitting in the place of where others have this power? Because it's the claim of self, it's that claim of self-power here that sparks this change, that brings these new beginnings, because it's that kind of higher vibration. It's that kind of vibration in which you put out around the world around you that begins these new cycles, that brings in these new opportunities and these new beginnings, because you are putting out that kind of vibration. Like, look, this is where I'm at, right? We have the 3 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, wow, and the 9 of Pentacles that clarify this Messenger of Cups. You know, and the Messenger of Cups can certainly for some be some sort of romantic offer, especially when the 3 of Cups comes. And it might even be somebody that you weren't really expecting. There's something within the darkness here that you weren't really, I don't think you were expecting. You know, and this claim within your own power really brings that to the surface, because the 7 of Swords comes behind the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups I find to be greatly about fellowship, you know, and this is about soul connections. This is about, you know, aligning yourself with soul connections that are going to serve you, because no longer are you just putting yourself out there as just, you know, so that anybody can use you. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you acknowledge that your energy is very much worthy of healthy, reciprocated, loving, caring energy back. Okay. And I see that there's just this, especially with the 7 of Swords behind that, because the 7 of Swords has kind of been like where people have probably been able to trespass against you in the past. Okay. And people can trespass against you emotionally all fucking day long. Okay, and they will if you don't actually claim that kind of power for self. You see, and I feel that this is where this shifts, because for some of you, you may be supported right now with soul groups or friendships. Maybe it is relationships, but I do feel that there is support here for you to really like open up to like, this is emotionally where I stand. And I feel that you are taking, especially with the 9 of Pentacles that comes behind there, because the 9 of Pentacles is about self-fulfillment. Okay, it's feeling wholesome, fulfilled with inside of self, but that fulfillment with inside of self, that comes with self-accountability. Because if you're not going to claim the power for how you feel, and you're going to allow others to take from you, then that 9 of Pentacles would be in a distorted energy. But I don't feel that that's where you are right now, Taurus. I feel that that's what you're growing into right now, is you're reclaiming that power of like, wait a minute, you can't take that from me because that's my energy. Okay, you don't like, and that's not selfish to put those barriers and those boundaries. We have to be accountable for filling our own cup. We have to be accountable for claiming our own power, because if we don't claim our power, somebody's going to claim it from us. Okay, and see, and that's this challenging energy here, because the 9 of Cups, again, look at how much we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, the 9 of Fire, right? A lot of 9s, and 9 is the energy of self-accountability, self-reflection. Okay, the 9 of Cups is about feeling wholesome, feeling that self-love. Okay, dreams, blessings coming true. Again, followed by the messenger of fire here. This is the Knight of Fire. Standing in your level of authenticity, having faith that those dreams and those prayers that you have been praying to the divine, having faith that you are connected here. Maybe it's even having faith that you are as uniquely and divinely made. You know, maybe you have a hard time believing that. Why is this 9 of Cups challenging the Taurus? Yeah, look at that. 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands and 2 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles clarifies with the Hangman. And the Star gets the Judgment in this challenging energy. Holy shit. Yeah, you see, and I get it, Taurus. I feel that for some of you, stepping into this power, stepping into your own self-power, I feel that it scares you, because for some of you it may trigger, you know, where people have said a lot of bullshit in the past. But you see, you got the 4 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles clarifying this 9 of Cups. The four of Wands is all about happiness, fulfillment, right? It's family. It oftentimes is like that halfway to marriage card, right? Proposals, you know, lifetime commitment here. But this is about celebration. You see, and there's this balance within inside of self. And Taurus, I believe that for some of you, it's that disbelief in, like, does that happy ever after actually, like, is that actually ever something that could actually work in my life? You know, is that kind of happy ever after something that I would even feel happy in? You know, that standard happy ever after, whatever that may be. But you see, the challenge here is that your happy ever after is going to be what emotionally fulfills you. You just have to have that kind of faith. There has to be this balance within inside of self, because if you aren't expressing what you need from such relationships or from such life, right? If you cannot honestly express what that need is for you, then there is this imbalance within inside of self. Then your blessings and what are going to make you emotionally happy and fulfilled, they're not going to come into you, because that's not what you're saying you need, you know? Taurus, you have to reclaim your power here, because in order to reclaim your power, this is where the new beginnings come. You see, this messenger of fire is clarified by a Page of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is all about releasing yourself from the resistance and allowing the divine to really shine through here. It's allowing the divine to begin the new beginnings. And the Page of Pentacles, pages are all about new beginnings. It's new cycles that are coming to be. And very much, it's interesting that it falls in this line underneath that Ace of Pentacles. You know, here is this new beginning for you. So allow yourself to shine that authenticity. Stop fighting that level of authenticity. Stop fighting who the divine made you to be. Listen here, the Star and the Judgment, clarifying those. Well, the Star is, again, very much wish fulfillment, connection to the cosmos, dreams coming true, blessings coming your way. And when it's clarified by the Judgment, this is the karmic happiness. This is that waiting and that kind of, you know, this is what we work towards. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we put in that growth towards, is to feel that kind of happiness. You know, and I understand that's a challenge for you right now, because I feel that kind of belief is like one that you have to claim power to have. You know, in order to believe that, yes, you can feel these kind of, and yes, you can and live this kind of life that is going to make you feel wholesome and make you feel strong, make you feel powerful. Yes, the divine has uniquely made you. Yes, the divine has brought you all of these blessings. And yes, these are all for you. And in order to feel that, you have to claim the power that you are worthy of having all those. You see what I'm saying? We have the 7 of Air, 7 of Swords, the King of Cups, the Queen of Air, and the Emperor, and the reasons why. There's been illusions, and I do feel that people have, once again, trespassed against you. And that is why this need to claim your power is so intense. Because you have, like, especially when it's clarified by the Page of Swords, you are learning all these new ways, okay? The Page of Swords, again, page, new beginnings. And those pages are the new beginnings in which you're kind of like the new beginning has started, but you haven't really taken any action steps yet, right? The Knights are really that really forward movement into the new beginnings. The pages are kind of like that new beginning where it's all just kind of new and you're just kind of waiting to see what's to come next. Right? And the Page of Swords is where you're changing those old beliefs of the past. Swords are all about that mindset. right? And the Page of Swords is where you're restructuring the way you've thought in the past. Keep in mind, your brain is designed to keep you alive. Okay, so your brain creates all of these structures and these beliefs and all of these ways of thinking to keep you safe. Okay, to keep you alive. And here the Page of Swords is having to learn new ways of thinking, right? Because the Seven of Swords is where truths are coming to, the illusions are moving away. Okay, truths are coming to the surface here with the Seven of Swords. Maybe where people have, like, you know, trespassed all over you. And this is where there's some sort of truth and some sort of understanding, some sort of clarity that comes to the surface here, in which you see, okay, this is the way forward. Okay, the divine shines kind of this light to the change that needs to happen here. And it's a new beginning phase, for sure. It's a new phase. Yeah, King of Cups. King of Cups gets the Temperance. Again, it's this learning of this balance within inside of self, right? The divine feminine and the divine masculine energy. You see, and when the King of Cups shows up, the King of Cups is somebody who really, the action steps in which they are taking are directly reflecting that of which their heart is speaking. Okay, they're showing up connected to the divine. They're showing up connected to their soul, to their mission here. The action steps in which they are taking directly reflect that of what their soul is speaking to them. You know, they sit within the peace of self and really connect to their emotions here. And, you know, and the Temperance is here because that is about learning God's speed and God's timing, learning that balance within inside of self again. You see, and especially within reclaiming our power, we must, in order to reclaim our power, we must understand that it's not just masculine energy that must go forth. Our reclaiming of the power must be that of both, like, it must be balanced. Very much like the Temperance, right? Queen of Air. Clarify this Queen of Air for us, please, Spirit. Queen of Air gets the Lovers. Wow, look at that. Queen of Air gets the Lovers and the Five of Cups. You see, and the Queen of Air here, this is about getting that clear thinking. Again. Like, it's so interesting too, because the Aries reading was very much about releasing kind of the old way of thinking here. And here, this is about getting in touch with this clear thinking, because Taurus, I do believe that there's been this huge restructuring. This full moon is really bringing to light the cycles and the old beliefs that aren't going to serve you anymore. You know, and when the Lovers and the Five of Cups come out, this could definitely be duality. The Lovers used to be the choice card. You know, and maybe it's where you have given yourself and given yourself and given yourself and given too much of yourself. Because the Five of Cups is about where we have to acknowledge the emotional burdens that we need to release. The emotional baggage that we need to release in order to go forward, in order to move forward, in order to accept new opportunities and new cups here. You see, and that is why this reclaiming of your own power, okay? This claim to your power. Like, not even reclaiming, but this claim, this proclamation that this is my power and this is who I am. This is my choice. See, and that is the clarity I feel that you are getting so in tuned with, you know? And no longer fearing that kind of clarity, no longer fearing your choices, no longer fearing your truth. Understanding that, look, it has to be like, I have to make the choice for self. And I have to actually address that I need to put myself first, because if I don't put myself first, in the long run, I'm going to end up resenting the situation down the road, or things aren't going to work out because I'm not going to be living authentically, right? I'm not going to be showing up authentically to such connection, whatever it may be. You see, and the Emperor comes after this Queen of Air, because even after the clarity, this is about really embracing your power, guys. The Emperor is all about embracing your power, acknowledging that you are the one who must claim your power. Right? You are the one who has to claim that power of life. Yeah, look at that. Five of Wands. You are the one who has to do the growth. You're the one who has to take that challenge, right? The Five of Wands is all about the challenge. The Five of Wands is about that challenge of going up to that next level. You see? And it's in your hands here, Taurus. If you want to reclaim power, well, then you're just going to have to level up, baby. And that's not necessarily going to be an easy task. Walking the higher road is never really easy. And acknowledging where we need to release ourselves from those old trapped beliefs, not necessarily always an easy thing either. But that's why this I want to say reclamation, and I don't actually think that's a word. But it just keeps coming up in this reading, guys. Like, I don't know. But this this claim to your power here, right? The Emperor clarified by the Five of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. You see, the Eight of Swords is about releasing yourself from feeling like the victim. And so many times in our lives, we keep ourselves stuck in victim mentality because we believe the stories and the beliefs that we create from certain situations, right? Bear with me here for a second. The Eight of Swords is the energy of feeling like a victim, right? This girl, she sees her reflection and she sees herself trapped. She sees herself still as the wounds of her past, you see? And that is the energy of victim mentality, guys. It's not that we haven't been victimized. I mean, unless you live under a rock, most of us have been some sort of victim to cruelty, bad situations, heartache, whatever the case may be, horrible things, right? We all go through these situations of victimization. That is something that we go through. Okay? Acknowledging that we have been victimized. That is step one. Now, to go forward though, we must go forward, acknowledge that we are not defined by that situation that made us victimized. That is not what defines us. What defines us is how we go forward and overcome that situation of victimization. Okay? Going forward with the Eight of Swords kind of mindset is going forward with the belief that you are defined by that wound. That situation of victimization now defines who you are. It controls you. You see, and here is where you acknowledge that, yes, it's going to be a challenge to claim that power. Yes, it's going to be a challenge to walk on the higher surface, to walk the higher vibration. A Three of Wands is about acknowledging that there's two paths before you and then choosing the higher road. Taking the faith, leaping into the ocean and to the new higher levels here. You see, and releasing yourself from the belief that you are the victim. And that can be things that people have told you in the past. That can be all sorts of things. That can be stuff that we carry from our childhood. You know, maybe we had a parent or a guardian or even a daycare, an older sibling, somebody who constantly told us that we were such and such and such and such. And now we've carried those burdens. We've tied ourselves with those beliefs. And that's what this is changing here. Okay, that's what's shifting with this. That's why this claim to your power is so important, Taurus. Because it's putting you in the driver's seat, okay? You are claiming your power because you are no longer a victim. You are no longer defined by what those wounds have said. You're overcoming that. And I love it. What a beautiful space to be in, Taurus. All right, so to finish this out, we're going to get some messages, some Moonology messages here. I always love finishing moon readings off with messages. Look at that. That Queen of Cups just came out of this Moonology deck and landed on that Queen of Air. Which is really interesting because that's where she was for that Aries reading. It's about having faith here, seeing beyond, right? Having faith in the divine, trusting your intuition. Acknowledging that you have that power. When you connect to your emotions, when you connect to your power, when you connect to your intuition, and allow your emotions to be what comes forward here. Allow your emotions to, you know, certainly not to, like it's, the power is within that kind of vulnerability of allowing our soul to speak to us. Right? Okay, we have adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. And that is true, you know, and adjustments are required. Or just there are things within your lives that there's structures, there's changes, and you can acknowledge that the choice is yours here, right? Adjustments are required here. If you want to claim your power, Taurus, you have to be the one who claims it, right? A personal issue reaches resolution. I love that. The full moon in Cancer. And nothing will come of this situation, the void of course moon. I love this card. So the void of course is really when the moon moves from zodiac to zodiac sign, there's a period in which the moon is completely it's not influenced by either of the zodiac signs. It's in the void of course. It's not influenced by the past and it's not yet influenced by the future. You see, and that's the nothing will come of this is when you just allow the divine to unfold it in the way that it is meant to come. A win-win outcome is forecast here. You see, and those energies, see, this is where the nothing will come of this situation is where you release your hold on it. You cannot influence this. You have to let the divine bring what is to come for you. You see, and when you can release that, that is how this win-win outcome is forecast. Because when you can release your hold on the outcome, when you can release your hold on how you see things having to happen, you allow the divine to bring into you what is meant to happen. You see, and that's your claim to power, because you are having faith in the divine. You are claiming your power by allowing the divine to bring to you what is meant to be for you. You are not forcing things. You are not trying to hold things, right? You are allowing, you are giving, you are taking your power, and you are having faith in something greater than self. I love it. I love it. Reclaim your power here, my beautiful, beautiful Taurus friends. The energy is gaining momentum. Allow it to move. All right, well, until next time, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.